Wait a second, Crash? The second review on this channel named NinteNick is Crash Bandicoot? Yes, I love Nintendo, but that's not all I play. And just because NinteNick is my channel doesn't mean I'm going to limit myself to just that. Sometimes other stuff is fun too. Also, it's my channel, so I'll do what I want.
In West Philadelphia, born and raised on the playground is where I spend most of my days.
So with that, let's take a look at Crash Bandicoot from the N.Sane Trilogy. This game, of course, is a remake of the original Crash Bandicoot for the PS1, which I have never played. I was still a one-system baby at the time, only with N64, Mario Kart 64, Donkey Kong 64, stuff like that. I eventually moved to double systems with the GameCube and got alongside it a PlayStation 2, with the masterpiece that I personally consider the PlayStation mascot, at least at the time, the Sly Cooper Trilogy. These were my favorite games and I put so much time into them, and that's pretty much all I played on the system. I dabbled in some other games, but they didn't last as long because they weren't, let's say, exactly high quality. If you know me though, you know I love my kart racers. So my PS2 racer was Crash Nitro Kart. This is how I knew Crash. Not this, not fucking this trash, but this was a great kart racer. The later Tag Team Racing was also one that I played on the PSP. This one was pretty cool too. But fuck me if Crash's death animations didn't mesmerize me as a little kid. I don't know if that's really a good thing or a bad thing, but I'm pretty sure it's not a good thing to look at this as a kid. Then with the Xbox 360, I finally played a Crash game that wasn't a Crash kart racer, and it was a Crash of the Titans. I'm sorry. And it was fun. I actually had fun with this game, but I still wondered why the characters look so off and why did everyone look like ass other than maybe Coco and Crash. But Crash, buddy, you gotta chill it with the spikes and the tribal tattoos. That's Mario and Sonic's job. Crash is bash. Oh shit, that's the game. Crash is back, now with his 3 original games being remade from the ground up on the PS4. And let's take a look at the first one and see how it holds up as a newcomer who has never played a single main Crash game before. Wow, Crash, you're looking a bit rough there. You wanna fix yourself up a bit? There you go, buddy. You're looking sexy as all hell and you still have that, charm. Yeah, let's go with that charm. Crash Bandicoot is a 3D platformer from the 64 and 32-bit era of consoles. But don't think Mario 64 or Banjo-Kazooie, think more Super Mario 3D World. Don't be disappointed, it's a good game. Sorry, I got ahead of myself there. I'll deal with that another day. You go around the aptly named Wumpa Islands, moving up, down, left, right, with the occasional diagonal movements. But Crash here isn't normal looking. Like, I love him, but even compared to Sonic over here, he isn't normal looking with his hands, that look in his eyes, and those arms that literally have to be taken down a notch, and I can't quite put my chin on it. Oh wait, because he literally has no chin. And somehow, I still love this guy. So how did Crash happen, and what's the story here? Well, this handsome munchkin here is Dr. Neo Cortex, and this human Squidward is his assistant, Dr. N. Brio. Cortex for some reason decides to staple a giant N on his forehead, but surprisingly, that's not the story here, and I really want to know why, man. Was that really necessary? Cortex was mutating animals for his animal army, and Crash was going to be the leader. But something went wrong, and BAM! Crash from the first second of his creation was a literal reject. He escaped so gracefully though out the window. Uh-oh! Once Cortex is gone, he orders the other Bandicoot in, who is Tana. Oh, wow, I have a question here. How does she have a shirt of Crash who was just made? Also, how is Crash and Tana boyfriend and girlfriend if Crash just became a super mutant? And why isn't Tana locked up in the first place? Or why isn't she trying to free herself? There's so many questions here. Tana, what is wrong with you? Oh wait, this is an old school platforming game and I'm overthinking the story. So yeah, after landing on N.Sanity Beach, it's your job to get back to Cortex's lab and save your girlfriend, Tana. Although, I could probably do without her. Simple story for a simple game, and it does a great job, especially for creating memorable characters for such a short amount of time on screen. But once you're on N.Sanity Beach, it's time to play the game. And how does it play? You go around the aptly named Wumpa Islands, moving up, down, left, right, with the occasional diagonal movements. Oh shit, I already said that, didn't I? Okay, real talk, as a first timer coming into a Crash game, I was completely fucking sidelined. I had at least 3 game overs in the first level. When does that ever happen to anybody who has been playing video games as long as I have? Even maybe a first timer. When does somebody die 3 fucking times in the first level? Sure, I mostly died on a hard path trying to get all the boxes, but it was still so hard. I feel ashamed a little bit. The feel Crash has to him is very hard to describe, but as he walks, he has a certain weight and feel to him. As he jumps, which, you know, is pretty important in a platformer, he feels heavy at the start, but at the top of his arc, he feels lighter and it seems like you can have more control. But the second you start going down, he's landing on the earth like a fucking asteroid from space. I have no idea if I did a good job describing that, but just know Crash has a decent amount of weight to him. And by decent, I mean he weighs like a metal box. Crash's feel isn't bad at all though. It just, in my case, took a little getting used to, and once I got the controls, I was hopping around as if nothing. Where the game has some more than minor issues though in my case is with the depth perception. It feels really weird to say that though because I have never had this issue in any platforming or video game at all before. For example, with the amazing, I don't care what you say, Super Mario 3D World, I always heard people had an issue with the depth perception and where they landed, but I never had an issue with that as I always landed where I wanted to land. But now I know that horrible feeling of thinking you're going to stick the landing only to fall into a pit and see Crash's fucking shoes go flying in the air. Especially when getting used to Crash's control in the beginning, it caused a lot of death for me. But over time I adjusted and it still happens sometimes. Fuck! It's still my biggest issue with the game. But it's just part of it being a 20-year-old game, I think at least. I don't know, maybe it improves in the sequel. Hint, hint, hint. Well, what else do you do other than jump over pits and stuff? There's obviously enemies to bounce and spin on, but this might come as a surprise, but Crash crashes. I know, what a shocker, right? I'm sorry, but you can put your spoiler complaints in the comments below. There are multiple crates, simple crates, TNT crates, jump crates that you jump off of, bounce crates that you can jump only 5 times on, though they technically should break easier because they're less reinforced. Crash crates that give you an extra life. Who made these? Crash was literally made 12 minutes ago. Checkpoint crates that give you a major sigh of relief. Thank you so much. If I die, I'll come right back to you, I promise. Along with Aku Aku crates that freeze the mask and let you take an extra hit. There are also question crates that give you bonus tokens with 3 different options of Tana, the Dream Team Embryo, or Cortex. When you get 3 tokens of a character, you unlock a bonus room that serves as a small challenge with a chance to earn some lives, plus the warp point now works as a checkpoint, so that's a good bonus. Tana rooms are pretty easy to deal with, and she's just chilling at the end and oh shit, Tana, you're free. Escape, let's escape, come on, come on. Ah shit, come on Tana, I'm sure that could have been avoided. Okay, Tana, he's coming, move, come on, you know he's coming, move. Tana, do something! Embryo stages are slightly harder while Cortex has the hardest stages, though there are only 2 of them in the entire game because they unlock hidden stages. And try to pad out the game a little bit. I mean, stall Cortex's inevitable defeat. You know, it would just be a Wampa fruit on top if the levels looked nice. Oh wait, they do. They did a great job in this remake, and you can clearly see that they wanted to make everything look as good as they could have possibly made it. Most of the levels are jungle themed, but they're all so nice and have their own twist to them that keep them from getting old. Other not so common themes are giant wooden towers, temples, and those fucking sky levels that I swear to God are the most annoying thing in the game. The last of the 3 islands though actually brings a lot more variety in the levels, filled with waste plants, factories, and Cortex's castle. Though sometimes the lighting in these levels just seems really off. What is up with those eyes? The music is also great in every level, with the main thing being stuck in my head and being, I swear to God, 40% of the reason why I caved in and bought the game. They also added some extra stuff like the ability to play as Coco with their laptop and all. She functions exactly like Crash, but still, I love the small little addition to change things up. Plus, Coco is just cool overall, and she's the best in all honesty. Probably an even bigger addition though is adding time trials to the relics from the original Crash Warped. This here is for old Crash veterans and people who really just want to get into Crash and learn the ins and outs of every level. It can be so infuriating and hard to get some of these because you need precision with all your jumps to get a platinum relic. You have to break every time freeze box and know just how to move, and stopping for a fraction of a second can ruin a run and how you avoid obstacles. It's not required to 100% the game, but now you can actually get 105% that I do not have yet if you get all the platinum relics. But to get a platinum trophy on the PlayStation Network, you can get a minimum of gold, which is still as hard as Crash's bones. Doing these can be so infuriating and I just want to fucking The basic ending is you fighting Cortex on a blimp with this sick skateboard as he shouts stuff at you, and it's super easy as soon as you learn all of his patterns like every other boss in the game. Tana shows up out of nowhere on the blimp once you defeat him, gives Crash a hug, and that's it, simply said and done. But if you get all the crystals, you can hop on them to Tana's room, and for some reason Cortex has a giant mirror of her on the way there. Nice, but again, why Cortex? Crash walks in admiring her shirt clearly, and they both hop on a bird and fly away. Tana goes in for the kiss, but Crash dodges it because he has self-respect, and he waves goodbye to the camera. I think Tana fell off the bird though because we never see her again. And that's Crash Bandicoot, and I have to say, I was really impressed with this. Sure, it hasn't aged perfectly, but it still holds up very well with the remaster in my opinion. It feels almost like a completely modern game. I have a newfound love and respect for this fucking orange abomination of a marsupial. It really shows why and how back in the day Crash was so highly praised and Sony's unofficial mascot. If they want to make a new one, there are some tweaks they would have to make obviously, but I really think Crash can come back with a whole new game. Now, with all my newfound love for this game, I still have to go back and platinum it. Yeah, no, fuck this. I'm going back to Nintendo for some easy shit.